All right, how about this next thing here? We have something pretty neat hitting next week, and for anyone that used to play the old classic games like myself knows what I am talking about. I am talking about nothing more than the classic Jurassic Park games coming to PC next week. It's going to be awesome. This does include NES, SNES, Game Boy, and Genesis games. Jurassic Park is cracking open the amber of some of the 8 of the 16-bit console games based on the dinosaur movie franchise, bringing the NES, SNES, Game Boy, and Genesis outings to PC next week. Fingers crossed the anniversary returns of the series' earlier video games might lead to some of the overlooked adaptions getting their chance in the spotlight. In other words, when will Trespasser finally get the respect it deserves? So if we don't see like some Rampage, Jurassic Park Rampage for the Sega Genesis,
I'm gonna be a little upset.
if we don't see the OG Jurassic Park Genesis game,
I'm gonna be a little upset.
okay? Those were my all-time 2 favorite games. That's what got me into the old gaming stuff. Like, I remember being just very, 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 very young. The Genesis was technically my parents' console. They got me a Super Nintendo for my birthday one year, and that's where it all started. And they took me into a local game store to rent a video game, because that was big. That was very big in the 90s, is renting video games. And let me tell you, Jurassic Park just came out, and I wanted nothing more than to experience a big old dinosaur. Okay? And it was awesome. It was such a good game. Played as Dr. Grant in the first Genesis game. When Rampage came out, that gave you the option of playing as a raptor or Dr. Grant. And you bet your sweet ass that I always played as a velociraptor, because they're very cool creatures, and I love them, and you can't tell me any different because they're great. And that's pretty much it. But back to this news article, instead of going off on a long tangent like that. Jurassic Park Classic Game Collection does exactly what you'd expect with a bundle that a dry name to do. With that dry of a name to do. Typo right there. Cramming 7 retro games into a single digital package. There's 7 games by technical reasoning, but 3 games with different names and ports, as you'll get the NES, SNES, Game Boy, and Genesis games, all just called Jurassic Park. The SNES and Game Boy versions of 1994 non-canon sequel, The Chaos Continues, and Jurassic Park Rampage Edition. There it is, baby. There it is, baby. Let's go. Let's go, buddy. That's awesome. A different Genesis-only sequel that lets you run around as Alan Grant and blast dinos with a flamethrower and rocket launcher. The games won't be quite as they were 30 years ago, with the modern benefit of being able to have some save states, and other quality of life additions. There'll apparently be some new in-game maps too, if you're already familiar with the originals. Really, that's pretty sweet, man. So, some levels that we've never played before. How cool would that be? The collection only includes 8-bit and 16-bit games from 1993 and 94, missing out slightly off the beaten track picks like 1994's 3DO FMV supplemented minigame collection Jurassic Park Interactive, and the decidedly less action-packed Paint and Active Center for DOS. I never played either of those, so I don't care. If we're lucky, this return of Jurassic Park's early video games coming back to the mark the film's 30th anniversary might eventually be followed by some of its later outings released around the Lost World Jurassic Park. Could this mean we eventually see redemption for the overly ambitious, technically innovative, if somewhat misguided and flawed Jurassic Park Trespasser, which went on to influence everything from Half-Life 2 to Halo and Far Cry? All being right in the world licensing funds away. Until justice is done, you'll be able to give Jurassic Park's early game a go when they hit Steam for $30 on November 22nd. Let me know if you're excited as I am for this Jurassic Park game. I'm super pumped. I am super pumped for this.